All right. Hello, everybody. We decided coming in a live chat today that we're going to be talking about this process of adjustments that it's coming in. You to adjust within the journey, and that adjustment it's going to lead to the this beautiful process of adaptations of this not only like adaptations on the previous levels of existence, but now since you are in that adaptations within the union, within the energies that is in there. Those processes you begin to understand within the journey. Basically, the journey is going to lead you within this, and you're going to find that those adjustments and adaptations that you make on your own self, on your own journey, is going to be a very helpful to these adaptations and these adjustments that you're doing right now, and you practice it within the connections in there. And without further ado, I'm going to give you Paulina.
Thank you. Yeah, based on what we were talking recently, we kind of realized that your progress can be faster when you're ready to adjust to the new reality or maybe to new experiences that come along your way on the journey. Because also we were discussing a lot how those, staying in a comfort can keep you a little behind or, can just delay your progress. So we were just talking how for some people, they don't have much troubles with just adjusting to the new experiences or new environment. The journey will be putting them into some uncomfortable situation, but they don't seem to have a much problem with just adapting to this, you know, new new experiences, new people, or even new belief system. Because that's what we were discussing a lot too. That it takes a little bit of effort or even pushing you out of comfort zone the moment that you want to adapt to new belief system. And in principle we should just get rid of all belief system that they exist and just stick to one truth. But the more and more you progress on the journey, you kind of accept that there is no such way as getting rid of belief system. You're just kind of navigating through them, and you take whatever resonates with you. But at the same time, I believe it's important just to juggle with them and just they always come for a reason. For example, some people might introduce you to some new belief system, and at first you may be rejecting them, or you feel, oh my god, it doesn't resonate with me. But from time to time we just have to ask ourselves if it's not coming from the space of a comfort zone, because it would cause our mind to expand. And as much as it's pretty weird, but we are very good in just kind of keeping ourselves in this safe zone, that instead of expanding because it's uncomfortable, because it's new and unknown, we'd rather stick to our old patterns. Even if you feel like, oh my god, that this is somehow limiting, like I would like to see if there are some new ways or new views that I don't accept, or maybe I don't take into account. So today I think we just wanted to talk about more how you can adjust and just stay more flexible to those changes when they happen to along the journey, and just see the whole process as more fluid, not set in stone. Just maybe encouraging everyone just to even challenge yourself on your belief system as much as they can feel the proper, or you feel even your heart is telling you. If you do the deep analysis, sometimes you may find that it's not really the heart what is telling you, but your mind and those things that you tend to repeat, or maybe you just watched around because people used to believe this way. So that's just an introduction from me. But we have several key points or key words that are very nicely connected to each other, including this adaptability on the journey, adjustments. There are several more, but Dio will be going and introducing each term. I don't
Um,
know.
yes, actually, I wrote a post on the Facebook today about I put the four A's in there, because everything that was we were talking, in a sense, our daily communications between us. It helps all this adjustability and those adaptations of our new energies that they are emerging within us. And I was looking at what is it that, and end up to have this ace in there for it, and we decided to go ahead and comes in and share it with you. The first one I was actually in there is like when you looking at in your own self in there, your something happens, events happens, you ignite it, you do something, and now right after that moment of passing that threshold, you begin to be aware of that somehow there is something something happened, the more thing you know about it. And usually when the event happened, first thing first is you're not doing anything in there, and you worry about what is going on. It's like, should I say, should I share? Usually the people keep it internally inside of themselves. Even talking about this ignitions within and the twin flame. I mean, if you look at it inside of you, when that ignitions between you and that person happens at the first time, did you right away say something about it? No. First, you begin to learn how to be aware of. And when we're talking about aware of, it is about this awareness within yourself, because you look at it deep inside of you, and that awareness in there, when it comes in, it's goes within yourself, and then you begin to look at it a little bit. That first glimpses of those adaptations, you're kind of like adapting within the things that goes on there within. And we're talking about this over the time. You begin to be aware of that some event happened to you, and you begin to research this information. You begin to look at it, that information's inside of you, even after this. But some of the people, they don't even talk about it, or if they talk about it, they talk about within the secret. I'm talking about even with this. But first of all, that awareness that comes in is, especially we're talking about the self awareness. As Paulina said, you have to be liquid, you have to be adjustable. You can't just be stuck within a one thing and in there. Some of the people, they're stuck with this, and they're like, it is what it is. That's what this is, and I'm stuck in there and stuck on these situations, and so on. And that awakening within the journey is creating of things in there. But looking at that awareness, I seen it within me that I was aware that something happened back in the days. But even right now, the awareness between us is is bring the connections on a very, we are even we start looking at for this more advanced stuff, guys. We're gonna give you back in there, but we're talking about this uh, resilience to the old. But that's gonna be another future video. We're talking about it. But the awareness of the potential within the connection, and you're gonna learn that the more you go within the new energies, the new ways, and the new things, you begin to create those adaptations. Yeah, that adaptations of the new way of life inside of it, and then that's going to learn to the acceptance within you, that you're accepting what is happening to you because it is what it is. And there, and that is a one key. And another key point I want to put it in there, that after all this acceptance, then you begin that awakening process that actually you do. So on, and gonna be giving back the mic to Paulina.
Yeah, a little bit of this awareness. It just kind of shows on different parts of your life. Like when you start to get aware of the situation that, oh my God, some new reality is building in front of me. Also, you will start noticing, maybe the connection between all these things that are happening, or maybe you will start getting aware of the guidance that you're getting from something. Some people have different guides, or just the universe itself. Mm. But it also translates into the awareness of connecting with another person as a, being aware that everyone has gone through some dramatic experiences, or we all have some history. You're becoming more aware that you're dealing as a human with another human. Just being able to observe more. It's not only about noticing the unhealthy patterns in us, but you're just really being able to connect from this level that I'm aware, of your emotions. I'm aware that, your reactions to my actions. So it's more, the more you're becoming aware how much is like inside you and outside of you, you are able to navigate it better from this place of respect, and also just, tolerating all of the people, as being aware of this work that everyone has to do. We are not perfect, and it's just, it really helps to connect with other people if you are kind of more understanding that, we all have some work to do here, and we all have some flaws, but with this awareness that, it's constant change, and everyone is, we are not those rocks that cannot change. You start appreciating how much, despite all those, you know let's say, bad sides of ourselves, we are still able to work on ourselves, and you will start even appreciate if, you're dealing with some people who are really working on themselves. So I think this new awareness that comes from the universal level, it really translates into the connections, because you can bring this awareness, and thanks to this, bring connection to another level. Because really, for me, that was very much like, that was a huge change the moment I open up, and I was able to connect from like human part. Like, until you kind of get out of your bubble, I think it's very hard to make those connections with people. You just kind of see either like people who are doing something wrong, or just this sense of separation. I think it really makes it hard to make the close, intimate connections with anyone. It doesn't have to be only with a partner, but just really treated every one of us as, just a human who have our pains, have our, maybe traumas and past experiences. At least that's my sharing from my personal experience, because I could sense the difference before and after. I went from a bubble, and I really started treating everyone like on their own journey. It's never everything that happens to us, it's always a result that of some trauma that someone has been through, and then just didn't have a chance to acknowledge that or heal that. It's everything is, or big part of it is just subconscious. So just being aware of, I think, things that people still are dealing with, and just being more patient with that.
Hmm. Also, that on that awareness kicks in the self-awareness from within yourself first, and that self-awareness inside of you brings that adaptations of things that you have not adopting from before, understanding in there, accept from before. Now you're gonna find that that awareness that leads to the self-awareness is actually helping you to adapt what you really are within this. And that explain you the things that you have you could not explain from within this before. You're gonna find things that they explain you the root cause about the things that happens inside of it. Inside this why when we sharing the things like this, is that we see the things the way they were before, but we see it from a totally different perspective, and understand it, the real cause of everything that goes on. And that what I find out is that this self-awareness in there, it begins to feel awakening you. It is awakening you from within. That awakening begins like, okay, why I didn't have this before? Why I didn't have that situations from before? What is all this? But when you get this adaptations and acceptance and based of that awareness, in there. Now you become with this awakening that comes in and clicks in within you, and you awakes at this either forgotten parts within yourself, either unhealed wounds. Most of it is digging it in there. I would say this is like digging at that subconsciousness wounds that it comes in, and you're gonna be able to see all this process, the root cause for those hidden wounds, and it can comes in, and you can be able to understand them better, and then you can heal them better. So you can be able to move, to evolve, not only in personal level, but also in the relationship with another. Because guess what? You sharing it. You a vulnerable. You're truthful. You're honest. You're sharing what's going on inside of it, and then the other person inside, they're looking and they see how they cooperate. So basically, the energies becomes exchanging within the both units, and that it works within the power of the energies of the love and there, and then you feel this inner peace because uh, the pressure. If you keep it, for example, only for yourself, and you don't tell nothing to your partner, you guys know what I'm talking about over here. This is what happens. You dealing with this on your own, within your own shadow, you hiding it in there. And when the partner asking you, hey, what's up with you? What is going on? Is anything okay? Is all good with you? And like, oh yeah, I'm okay. But the partner know you're not okay. The partner knows you're dealing with it. They know about it. And here is what happens is that you begin to losing the trust in there. So what are we talking about? That when you're awakening in there, you're awakening in also to that part is to share your internal world, what's going on with you, with with your counterpart, and that way you are beginning to have the inner peace inside of you, that they know what's going on within you, and then the partner also is not worried about you because they know what's going on within you and what you can do and so on. That is what you to be sharing your life to another person. That inner world in yourself with another person in there. So that's what I will say in there. But that is activating a lot of stuff inside of you. It's activating your hidden talents. It can activate a lot of stuff for it. But at least that awakening leads you to this. You put everything all this together. You put the awareness. You put the these adjustments that you did, these adaptations that you did, this acceptance that you did, because you're accepting that that is when you do that, that brings the peace inside of you, the better relationship, but that also brings even the whole connection as a whole in a very beautiful state of love.
Mm.
Now back to you there, Link.
Yeah, I wanted just to bring it maybe from this higher perspective. I don't know. I just want to see like, as a whole. So specifically, wanted to talk more about this adaptation and adjustments that and collaboration with the universe or just universal flow. Because sometimes it just happens that we are just getting a little bit stiff, or we are fixed in our belief systems, and it's just in our environment. So if we've done some decisions and we are in a situation that don't serve anymore, it never happens that you just have to change your life completely. It's just, you may notice, like, for some people it's just their life just throws these huge changes for them, but normally it happens like if you're really being thrown up in some extreme case, most of the time is because you are not reacting to those small tiny moments or situations, or environment was just kind of started to not resonate with you anymore. But instead of trying to adjust to it, you were kind of stuck, not stuck, I'm overusing this word, you were kind of like chose to be in this, let's say, comfort zone, but it was just a comfort zone because you were afraid to make some changes. And if something is telling you that the situation is not serving you, very rarely this voice stops. Honestly, it's just, it comes for you for a reason, but if you prolong for way too long, it's getting uncomfortable because your soul will find a way to get you back on the right track. So I think this is also for to make all of this journey more or less complicated and more smooth. I think it's if we sense that something is not serving us anymore, or something has to be a little bit tweaked, because it's, we are expanding all the time, we are growing all the time, and it's normal that some people were serving us, or the connection was serving us for some time. But if we will try to hold on to those situations, even if we see we outgrew it, but then, just to make the next move, that will cost us a little bit of, you know reconfiguration our life, or just, maybe moving somewhere, or maybe just doing this adjustment, that's to find new solution for you. We prefer to keep it safe and keep it the same way as it used to be. But this internal need for growth, it will always be there. So sometimes if you're blind to it for way too long, you will get shaken. So I think it's just realizing this. It's really it helps you to maybe make it step by step, always, just to remind ourselves that we always change. It fluctuates, and it's normal to have some new experiences come into your life and not resist them. Just embrace them as they come.
Mhm.
Oh, we have people in the chat. Hi, Lorna. Hi, Piotr. And hi, Rich. If you have any questions, you can ask. Mm.
That's how it works.
Well,
Okay, that's how it works. The one thinks, the other does. Yeah. Lately, this is, it's been within us, but
that's what it is.
um, yes, it is what it is. You can't change it what it is. But yeah, those adjustments, guys, here, those adjustments, there's gonna be, um, let's say, for example, you went to a certain level within yourself as a expand in your journey. I mean, talking about, first of all, your personal expansion that goes in. And you see that expansion, but you also see the potential for the next expansions, the next things, the next levels that you want to expand, and so on. And when you're making those adjustments, okay, it's very crucial to don't make the adjustments by you going from the one extreme to the another extreme. You're about here to look at that adjustments that you are going to do of just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Okay, you don't want to make a soup and put a 1 kilo of salt in there. The soup is gonna be only a salty water. Ask me. Okay, or you're trying to making something and put some, let's say, like a half a kilo of black pepper. Uh, wish you good luck with that one. And this is what are we talking about, that when you're making adjustments, thinking about like a cooking, okay? Let's say if something is needs to be adjustment within a taste, you add the different flavors, the different spices, and looking at within yourself, as Paulina said, the journey is going to tell you what exactly you need to adjust. How much do you need to adjust? Okay, what is that? I will make these little adjustments of that energy, little bit different of that thinking, little bit of this informations. I don't understand a little bit more of this. Maybe there was something else. I'm gonna get educated. I'm gonna be getting proof on this area, or I'm gonna create of this up here, and you're gonna find that those adjustments in there, they're gonna be extremely helpful of your inner peace within in yourself in there. But also they telling you that don't go to the extremes. Okay, you to be aware of that the extremes they not help you, and in order you to expand within all the directions in there, you can't have one extreme because you're gonna expand in a one certain area. But what happens is when you begin to expand within yourself, you expand rapidly in all directions. Just like the star is born from within you, the light is born, and if you look at it, the light in there. When it light up, the light is expand everywhere, right? It's like the sun. But some other people, we're looking at that. They have this uh, laser focus. See that light is just like a tiny light that it's only always light up to one point, and everyone can see that point. And sometimes you have to look at it within yourself. Those things that you need to do of these adjustments in there. Those beautiful, beautiful adjustments, and it's gonna take you on actions. Okay, act on those energies, and some blessing up here that these energies they come for this purpose about these actions. Inside of it, Piotr, it's nice to have you here. Thank you, sir. Okay, back to you, darling. If
Mm.
you have
Yeah,
anything
you
to
touched
add.
on the good thing. You mentioned about the extreme, going to the extreme. Because I had several examples from people who were, let's say, they open up to more to spirituality and they feel, oh my God, my current job doesn't allow me to be fully spiritual. They would like to go into the like healing right away, or they feel like their current job is not as meaningful, maybe as they feel they should be more to it. And I've heard several examples how people would like just to shift everything right away and just 180 degrees, just change everything completely and just jump into the deep water. So I think with this is just a little bit of patience that is needed, because even if the things are uncomfortable, because we kind of maybe neglected those changes that needed, or maybe somehow those intuitions can wake up very suddenly, or new idea can come, or we may have new connection coming to our life. And that's what we try actually to adjust, instead of doing those huge changes for both of us. We really take time to think about all the scenarios and just really wait for the guidance, just to make it as smooth as possible. I think those transitions, if you're acting from the place of peace, they don't have to be hard, because you're adding this trust to it, so you see if things are not moving, instead of seeing, oh my God, it's stuck, it's not going anywhere, am I doing the wrong thing, or like the wrong thing, or what happens here. You will be seeing it as a maybe period for rest, or just maybe preparation. Maybe you're not ready for the changes that are supposed to come. Those things we were discussing a lot, because sometimes it's hard to see this end vision. It seems that it's, oh my God, so many changes have to happen in order to this vision to realize. But instead, if you just step back and just wait for those change, or create those changes, but step by step, you can avoid this unnecessary pressures that come, because it's, of course, if you're in one country and you see yourself in another country, it is a lot of steps that have to be taken all, on the way. So I think this is just the example to be patient with those changes and just enjoy them. And this is also spiritual lesson, like how much you are training your patient and you trust that those things are coming in the proper time. And if anything, energies want to make it easier for you. If you're ready to adjust and just make those changes, so you're entering the proper path, I really don't believe there's anyone's interest to make it harder if you are able to cooperate, and be open for those changes that are necessary.
Exactly, those adjustments, they will they will determinate. So basically, on the basis of your awareness in there, and while you're understanding that you don't have to make and go to one extreme in there, the extremes there could be so many of it. The extremes that could be I love myself, and then you did something I don't like myself or I don't love myself. This could be an extremes that you make in most of you that you're on twin flame dynamics in there. Oh, I love her so much, I give everything for it, and I think that she's gonna call me today, and today's passing by, and the next day tomorrow, what are you doing? Oh, they call me, I hate them so much, I have this energy and so on. I hear that so many times in there, and for and but here when you're practicing the inner peace in there, you find out those little fine tunings. Okay, this is like For example, when you go and you have the dial for the radio, but you're kind of like a little bit offset. You can hear the music, but you're not in the exact that frequency that you need to do. You're not turning faster the knob, so you can find that adjustment. You just turn it one thing, one turn, and then you're right there of the radio stations that you need to listen, and there within yourself. And then when you make those adjustments, you begin to listen it more. Not only the your your inner self, inner guidance. You also inner guidance within a partner, but also it's with the inner guidance because it's all working on the same frequency. You dial in that channel in there, and those those things that you be mindful about it is like do something consistently every day with those adjustments. Just don't go with the extremes because if you one day you're on the positive and the next day you're on the negative, then you go on into the positive, then you go into the negative, and you're wondering why you don't are in at peace. Make yourself at peace, and it's like making little moves here and there. Just okay. It doesn't matter if you're going fast or slow in your journey. It's not about fast or slow. It's about right. Because if you're going fast but in the wrong direction, you're gonna run in the wrong place. And that. But if you go into the right directions, no matter how slow you go, the things actually, when you understand it inside of you, things gonna begin at some point to move because you're gonna be arriving where you need to be arriving with using the consciousness and awareness and your actions and your awareness, your adjustments in there. And that awakening is gonna be coming from this beautiful blessings and inside of you. So you're gonna learn that this process is a beautiful blessings there because it brings that internal peace and soul that you're experiencing. All right. You have anything to add, darling?
Yeah, I wanted to focus more about um, those tiny steps that we are taking. It's just if you practice just being more open and just be able to listen, you know what life's trying to tell you, what the universe trying to tell you, you will be becoming more sensitive to those tiny changes. You know, if you're able to get just set back and just be ready to listen, I think that's a good way just to really look out for those tiny nudges, you know, that they are honestly, we are always getting some kind of a guidance that, you know, there will be some tiny situation that will give us hints, you know, what is the next step. You know, sometimes when we are trying to find this bigger vision or bigger step, we can miss those intermittent steps, you know, in between what happens in the journey. And that's easy way to just overlook the guidance that we are getting. So I think it's, if you're able to open up just for those tiny information that we are sent, you know, it's just, it really comes down to just maybe improving your intuition or connection to your intuition, instead of assuming that, oh my god, my life will just change 180 degrees because the universe will orchestrate it. You will start seeing this life as a process, and we'll really be able to look for those tiny signs. You know, it's not just about having to everything fall into pieces and, you know, rebuilding everything from scratch. Sometimes it's really, there is not that much, you know, sudden change that has to be implemented. It's really gradual change, as long as you're able to act on those signs when they come. And the problem is just somehow, you know, sometimes those informations that we may be getting, it doesn't match our end goal that we have in mind, you know. So it takes a little bit of trust to see, okay, it doesn't make sense in my head why this one would happen, you know, it doesn't match how we were having it in mind. But, you know, instead of um how do you say, instead of uh, avoiding or maybe rejecting this thought, you know, or questioning this thought, um, as I said, there is a little bit of trust that is needed, that, you know, we don't see the full picture, because maybe you just have to take a little bit side road to learn something on a way that will make your end goal. But, you know, on the way, you will just learn something important, so it's going to be even better once you arrive there. So I think that's something that people tend to overlook, because if some things come to them and it doesn't resonate with them, they just say, okay, it's not for me. It's probably, this is like, the universe says that this is the wrong path. But instead, it's always about not even shifting perspective, just staying objective and just accepting that we may not see the clear picture towards the end, and just instead just embrace whatever comes to you in the present moment, if it's something completely different that you would expect.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing, kind of like, but I was referring more to that during the downloads. What I actually found to a personal experience, but also to the people I do the consultations and I the talks and so on over the years, that when a download comes in as an energy, a situation sort of awakening causes to inflame, or however the case might be. Okay, people see during this download the beginning and what is that download is going to take into the end. And what's happening is within in the person, he feels the beginning that happens, and they see the end of all this download. And I talk to the people over the time. There's like you receive a newspaper. Let's say like you receive the newspaper, and the newspaper says you're gonna be like you're gonna be with your twin, or you're gonna be like this, or you're gonna be like that. You're gonna get to this and so on. But you don't learn this actually. What the way you explain it, darling, very beautiful. Is this you overlook those little things. So you overlook to look at that newspaper, to look at a download, that download of seeing it, all the requirements they needed to get from point A to point Z of that download in there. And that overlooking in there is going to be required these small adjustments. Or also what I was wanted to say when she was talking and learn to read between the lines. Because sometimes as that overlooking process, later on when you get into the journey, it is to make those little tweaks and turns and adjustments in there of the things that you overlooked from before. And sometimes you're going to find this missing pieces of the puzzle about this awakening process of these energies that is coming in, that beautiful change within spirituality within yourself, that it comes in and performs those actions in the world. And but all this, it's connecting the dots with all this awareness and adjustments that you are making it, and that begins to make the process of awakening. Now you enjoying it instead of this awakening process that shifts you left and right, left and right, left and right, and you're like, what is going on with here? Or you're going within this energies that you didn't listen, your inner self. You just focus on what you need from this awareness. Okay, so totally agree with you. That's we experienced that. So,
Mm.
all right, you guys have so many questions for us. You guys can ask. Time is an ally. We have to learn patience. The universe knows better what is best for us. Piotr, actually, perfect, because most of the people, the lack of the patience is because they think they don't have time. While the universe says, like, take the time you need to do it right, because you waste so much time coming life after life, reincarnate, 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 doing the same thing. One of the things that you're going to realize is that through your partnerships, relationships, connections, and so on, you keep repeating the same thing over and over and over until you realize that I don't have to repeat them over and over. One of this awareness is going to be coming into you is that because I know that when I getting into another person and so on, I have to start from scratch. I have to start from the beginning. I have to start instead of going a deep and look at it that portions of uh, how to expand. How to expand first within you, but expand within the connection itself and increase that. That is going to help you that the growth you're looking for. That expansions within yourself is that growth you're seeking in it, of the connections, and that's going to be beautiful when you find yourself expanding. Okay, it might be not pleasant to some of you because you have to go through certain things to heal and there and so on. But in the end, you're going to be happy about these expansions because later on, that expansion that goes on inside of you is going to materialize one way or another. Wise, what it's upstairs, that's what it's downstairs. And that expansions you're doing, first of all, these ignitions as energies and so on, is expanding. But as the patience comes in, you have to be given the patience within yourself, but also the patience of this energy to materialize in the world. And a lot of the people are in a hurry up, you know. And patience is a very beautiful divine power inside. All right.
Yeah, I just wanted to remind about this, expansions, evolutions, that there is no duality in terms of evolutions or in terms of how our life wants to make us grow, and that's why we cannot really judge. I mean, you can try to judge experiences that come to you as much as you want, but honestly, in principle, it's all about the growth, and your life will be giving you the experiences that will be the most optimal for you for your growth at that given moment. So it's that's why we just don't know this road, but your life knows what kind of bad and good stuff you have to go through, because really, like, it cannot distinguish. It doesn't know what is a painful experience, what is a pleasant experience. It just experience in terms of this bigger universal picture. So I think that's a very, if anything, that is one of the most important lessons that can really make your life easier, if you're able to just kind of train yourself to treat those even painful situations that come to you, try to see as much positive sides or benefits, or what kind of really lessons that it's brought by this experience. And if you're able to turn this analysis, oh my god, I've been there before, probably those will be the experiences that you've been in before. So it's just, I don't know how much it takes, a little bit of self-awareness, but just really to see those things from more this bigger picture, and just thinking about all of those situations in terms of evolution, and just really being mindful that the duality and all those emotions that we are feeling here, it's it means nothing, in terms of this higher order or just a general perspective. It's just about how much you can grow. So that's why, especially if it's in terms of connections, in terms of, oh, there's some dog there, in terms of emotional experiences, many people have to go through some hard stuff and heartaches and all this turmoils. But honestly, it doesn't really mean anything. Like, if you are able to detach yourself and just treat it as an experience that it's supposed to teach you not to be dependent on another person, and not to wait for someone who will do the job for you, I think this all things are getting easier. Just being more understanding towards what the universe really wants from you. It just, they are giving you this beautiful gift of evolution, that you can really progress, and you can learn how much is it outside of this 3D matrix, and just and relationships, and being just like in a couple and happily, and it comes after. But it's just the moment you've done your work and you see that it comes down to one long journey, that we are constantly evolving. It just makes it even more rich, because you will be appreciating it more. And at the same time, anytime those bad things are happening to you, your train itself, because it's you've learned that this is just a lesson. I haven't done something probably in the past, I missed that, now it's time to deal with that.
Uh, Very beautiful. There is so much, to talk about, even this, in there. One of the things that is that of that self-awareness, if I have to give you kind of like a key point in your journey, is be nice to yourself first of all, and stop taking things personally in a way and so on for it. That's gonna help you. First of all, when you kind of like are talking from within yourself, in there is this self-awareness moment when you're trying to do and resolve something, make that adjustment, and then you're gonna find out your lower self is gonna bring that, what about me? What I have to get, and so on. This person is supposed to, this person must, has. We're talking about the other side in there. You need to understand it takes a patience that, for example, that is the beautiful power of the growth in there. That even if something doesn't work, there is a reason why it doesn't work. But you have to give the time and space for this thing to work in there, because that's what it is coming into you guys from within. This adjustments in there, and the patience becomes a key. A lot of the situations within the people is because of lack of the patience. Lack of the patience, it triggers you to go of this extremes inside of it. And if you look at it deep inside of it, it's the extremes, because in a one day you like the one, and the other day you don't like the things, and so on and so on. Where are you unaware of all this? Your adaptations, you're adapting to that patience, you're adapting to the inner peace, you're adapting into the enlightenment inside of you. And now you practice it within your life. That's what you became an awakened and aware of in the first place. Then you go and find out how your life is going to begin to unfold in front of you. Okay. And as Peter said, I'm just learning patience, but I understood that everything is a plan. I won't change anything, and the effect will exceed my expectation. I just have to trust it. The trust is great. The trust is things. But sometimes the people, Piotr, don't take things personally now. Okay. But some of the people think that they see these visions. They see the things are happening. They see the things that like kind of visions, like kind of energies, and so on and so on. They are failing for one thing they need to do in there. In order these things to manifest, they have to do some actions, because that activations of that energies that it comes in there is the act in there. Okay, and you need to understand that at some point of time is gonna require you to act in there. Don't just depending on the energies, because the energies are there for you, but they're gonna teach you not to be codependent on the energies. You are there to cooperate with the energies and create something. That creations is a form of actions, and there. Okay, but it's good that you don't want to interfere with sometimes within these energies, because you trust in them. You trust in them that they're leading you in the right way, and the only way you're feeling good and you know that it's the right way, that is the path of the inner peace, because that way you are enlightened in there with this, and that brings you the joy, and that brings you the love, of course, in there. But that inner peace is something you don't buy. You can't. It's just like, yeah, that's what goes. Okay, that's all I had for you guys. So, is anybody else has anything to say? Anything? If not, we're gonna close the sessions out. But
Yeah, I think we covered all of this. The only last word that was coming to me was the accountability, and I think that
mm,
it's just another A. But being accountable for your actions, and if you have some dreams and some plan, like you feel, oh my god, probably that's where my life is taking me, and then there's this stagnation period, or you just have some hiccups and things are not going your way, although they were. I treat it as instead of being impatient until the things will move, probably there's something you were supposed to do at that time, and instead of doing things, you're just being impatient because something different is not happening. So always we had a lot of discussions also about that. I really believe that things in general, they should go smoothly. I mean, there are times of stagnation that it's time fully to focus on yourself. But if you can sense that when there's like extended period of, you can see something is supposed to come, there is something, just maybe some tiny action that is missing from your side, maybe taking a little bit different road. Those are, sometimes it's tricky, we have to experiment with those things, but something tells me really that if you're getting impatient and you're just kind of waiting for something to happen, instead of waiting for something to happen, just start doing something completely different. And I remember we were reading some quote around about that, I guess. There is no impatience if you're just doing something else while waiting, because you don't have a sense that you're waiting for something, for someone, or for energies. It's just you're okay, you're a grown up, and you know how to manage your time while waiting, so you don't have the sense of my life is not going anywhere, the time is ticking, and I'm like waiting for the universe to operate. So it's just a little bit of not putting all of those pressures for the energies to start to come to you, because those pressures also doesn't help. It doesn't help to manifest those things. So just to shift your focus from this, whatever you're trying to wait, or you planned or hope to receive, if something is coming, for example, just take off those pressures and this waiting time, just to focus on something completely different, because that's what your soul wants you to do. Maybe learn something different, or just go somewhere else. So that's just the conclusion.
Peace, Piotr. I like that. That was very cool. Wanted to add something because when you were talking about quote, it's about our talk. I don't know if it's early in the morning or late afternoon. I don't remember when. But when we were talking about that, the understanding of this process of expansion, about love and so on, and talking about the blooming tree at spring. When the love begins to comes out within you, this energies if looking at inside of you, and when you have this blooming in there, so here is coming the bee, and it does all this pollination inside of it, and you begin to it begins to develop the fruit and so on and so on. It takes time from that blooming to turn to this beautiful fruit and there. But the journey doesn't end there as the fruit. The fruit has to also mature, grow to be ready for it. But at the same time, in the fruit, there is the seed for the next tree inside of it and there. And the patience in there, in to understanding sin in there, is you to understanding where you are. Are you in that bloom that have no patience to have a fruit? Or you that fruit that have impatience to grow? But even if you have impatience in there, the things is not going to be ready until they are ready for. So when you look at the in yourself, sometimes you're that fruit that it's missing the bloom, but you are the evolving that expansion of that bloom, guys. And they have to look at it, the beauty of the journey, that expansion of that bloom, the things that you did, the situations that you get it, the awareness, and so on. Yeah. The first law of attraction has to leave the old for the new to come. Amen. If something doesn't work, if the door doesn't open, if one relationships doesn't work, and so on, and if that is getting too old, if that leads to degradations, if that leads to situations that you cannot expand in there, It's time to close the door. You can expand someplace else, but a lot of the people have a fear of let it go in there, and that is going to be a. We want to talk about in the future about this, talking about stubbornness and what was the word? Resilience.
Resilience.
Yeah, you guys. We want to make some special video for you guys. You're gonna be seeing it. What you're talking about, but yeah.
But you know what vision came to me is just those person, you try to open the door, but the door is locked. So instead of going somewhere else, 1 minute later, the person just tries to open the same door, just, oh, it's not open. So instead, again, like just going somewhere else, you will be just sitting there and every minute or so try to open this closed door. Sometimes it's.
Sometimes the person have to sit down in the front of that closed door, being in that moment, it's realizing that that door is not opening, and shut that door is shut. And guess what? What do you need to do? You have to go out on another walk of improvement, another walk in there, and then you walk in there, and then you see a door, and the front of the door is somebody's like, "Oh, where you been? I've been waiting for you." And you're like,
Mhm.
what? Yeah, the door is going to be open without you even having a key sometimes. But you have to trust the universe inside
Mhm.
of you. Okay? The universe knows what it's doing. All right, guys.
Mhm.
Twin souls are cool. Thank you, Peter. All right,
Mhm.
guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys have some any topic ideas, anything that it goes on and so on, please put some comments below or send us a message in there or email or however in your case it might be. And hopefully this video helps you out in your personal journey and you evolve, and that will lead you to that journey within this beautiful, beautiful unification process in union, guys. That's all I have from you.
Mhm.
Be love, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for comments and sharing. And see you next time. Thanks, Lorna.
Thanks, guys.